Hey, kiddies, well, coming at you kind of late in the night to talk movies. And this is going to be an oldie but a goodie. It's one that got to me, but it got to me kind of late because, to be honest with you, I got a much higher opinion of it than I did when I was a kid. This is one from 1953 called The Magnetic Monster. It's directed by Kurt Siodmak and Herbert L. Strock, although he didn't get credited. It was written by Siodmak. This is the guy who gave us The Wolfman, folks. And producer Ivan Tors. And stars Richard Carlson, King Donovan, among a whole bunch of other folks. And let me see. This to give you my backstory on this whole thing. Just yet another 50s sci-fi movie that I got to see when I was 8 or 9 years old. Typical, late at night UHF fodder, and of course I was there for it. And to be honest with you, when I saw it back at that time, it bored the ass off me. Well, what did I know? It's like I basically sat there watching this thing about a magnetic monster, and I spent like an hour and a half watching and watching and watching and waiting for a monster to show up. No monster. In fact, largely you see a little thing on a visual display which seems to be growing and kind of mutating or whatever, but it's like, well, that a monster? Looks like a piece of discarded bubble gum. Um. Anyway, much better as an adult than it was when I was a kid. And this is the thing. It was basically an effort to make a somewhat realistic, somewhat smart sci-fi movie, as opposed to the pile of really silly ass flicks that were coming out now that would become a kind of a big thing in the 50s, where there'd always be the scientist kind of in the lab way back there, doing science. And now they tried to kind of make a science-based science fiction movie that was smart and realistic, and it was pretty good, really. Right away, right out of the starting gate, you've got these good characters in this movie. The lead, they're scientific investigators for the U.S. government. Boy, it seems like an oxymoron, doesn't it? Um, but they basically get a call that there's stuff happening, but you get to meet the lead guy, and he's he and his wife are trying to get pregnant, they're trying to buy a house, and so right away it's like, okay, these are like kind of regular people, and regular ordinary people who are trying to have a life, and then government type stuff interferes, and basically they get sent out to deal with this thing that goes missing from a lab, and you've got this scientist who has created a new element, and he's carrying it on a plane, and ends up dying. This thing ends up killing him, basically, and they take it out, they contain it, this element, this thing in a canister, and they take it to a university lab, and they're going to work on it there and study it there. Okay, so X number of hours later, the lab is imploded. A huge chunk of the university is imploded. A bunch of people have been killed. And this element is basically growing, and it's magnetic, so basically any kind of magnetic energy it can bring towards itself, it's pretty much bringing towards itself and eating. And this thing is growing at an exponential rate, and it's probably going to end up killing humanity before anything gets done. And so it's just a race against the clock to try to get this place somewhere where they can secure it and destroy it if they can find some kind of way. And given the runtime of like an hour and 10 minutes, I mean, this is a breezy little watch, and it's pretty entertaining. Man, I would recommend this to about anyone. Yeah, I was not crazy about it as a kid. Still, anytime it came around, made the rounds, and came on TV, I'd sit down and watch it and try to figure out what that little wad of bubble gum on the sidewalk was that I was supposed to be so afraid of. And it's the usual thing. It's the early 70s. I'm a monster kid, and I'm gonna watch any damn thing they throw at me. Even if it didn't impress me. Because, god damn it, we took our monsters as we could get them, and we were grateful. But this is a cool little smart thriller, and I would fiercely recommend it to anyone watching. Anyway, there you go, folks. The Magnetic Monster. I saw this thing on Tubi, and I would recommend it to anyone kind of going through your whatever, Roku or whatever it is you got, and getting a hold of it and checking this thing out. It's a pretty good little science fiction flick, and it's well worth checking out.